What's goody, y'all? Uh, so today I'm gonna do a story time about an incident that I had here at Rutgers. So pretty much, so this past weekend, right, on Saturday, there was I was on duty for my RA position, and everything was going fine. I was heading in bed. It was like 2 a.m. It was 2 a.m. It was late at night too, so I was heading in bed, and then I get a call from someone I know, and his name I leave his name out, but I get a call from him, and he's like, "Oh, is this Alex?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is Alex." He's like, "Oh, there's two people passed out on the bathroom floor on the second floor," and I'm like, "God damn, this is gonna be a long night." So I go down, and what do you know? Two people passed out, like feet in the air, like they were knocked out. And it was the funniest thing because in the small stall, it was some kid, some non-resident. He didn't even live here, on the floor, passed out with his feet up, and there was literally a unopened bottle of Modelo right there, right beside him. And then in the big stall, there was the resident, some white kid. He was in the big stall, and and both stalls were locked, so I couldn't even open them or like anything. And I'm not allowed to open them. It's like privacy, right? And I don't want to open them, right? I don't know what they're doing. So I'm like, yo, guys, are you guys awake? No response. Dead asleep. Knocked out, right? I'm like, oh, man. I call RUPD. I call the police. I call grad staff, which is like my supervisor. And And then I go back in there, right? I go back inside, and he's like, and I'm like, yo, guys, is anyone there? Like, is anyone awake? And finally, I get a response from the kid in the big stall, right? The white kid. The other kid was like an Indian. I don't know. It was darker, but I'm like, oh, are you awake? Like, can you come out so I can talk to you face to face? He's like, no. If you want to talk to me, you can come into the store if you want to talk to me. And then I already got it. There was attitude. I was like, oh, I feel like I know where this is headed. So I'm like, can you please come out of the stall? Like being mad polite to this kid because I'm working, right? So I'm being professional. So I'm like, can you please come out of the stall, please? And he's like, no. If you want to come in, if you want to talk to me, then you gotta come to the stall. You gotta come inside. And I'm like, all right. And I'm like, well, the stall is locked. And he's like, no, it's not. I go push the door, it's locked. He was drunk, bro. So he unlocks the door and then he goes back sitting down on the floor like if nothing happened. I'm like, yo, all right, I'm gonna need your RUID. I didn't even want to like explain to him or anything. Then he's like, for what? For what? I can't throw up in the bathroom? Giving me hella attitude. I'm like, listen, you're drunk, you're throwing up, and you were passed out like not too long ago. So yes, please give me your RUID. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you shit. I'm like, no way he just said that. I'm like, all right, let me keep talking so like I know like where he's at. And I'm like, can you give me your RUID, please? Like, there's yeah, I need your RUID. There's no way that I'm not gonna give you like I need your RUID. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you shit, bro. Like I don't know for throwing up. And I'm like, dude, it's against policy. It's like against policy. You're drunk in a freshman dorm, which is against policy. You can't do that. And he's like, show me where it says the policy. Like, show me, right? And I'm like, can I just get your RUID? That's all I need from you, please. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you it. Like, no. And then at this time, when we're going back and forth, right? EMS and the police come in. So EMS brings a chair, right? As I told you, the stalls are locked, right? He brings a chair to look over, starts knocking on this freaking stall door, right? Meanwhile, this whole conversation between me and the way, he was dead asleep. He was knocked out. So I'm like, wow, there ain't no way this is real, right? So I exited the bathroom, right, of course, and I make sure like I make sure the kid's okay, right? I make sure the kid's alright, and the Indian kid, well, I don't know what nationality, but darker skinned kid came out and he wasn't even a resident. I was like, "Do you live here? I don't even recognize you. Like, I'm pretty sure you don't live here." He's like, "No, I don't live here. I'm not even a student at Rutgers. Like, I'm taking gap semester." I'm like, "Wow, you're messing up, man." So when I go over to him, right, he's sitting down in the lounge and like he's sitting down just like about to fall asleep. So I'm like, "Can I please get your RUID? Like, I just need to take a picture of it." I take a picture of it, and he gave me no type of problems, right? And I go try to go back to the white kid, right? And this is where it starts getting fun, right? I'm like, "Can I please get your RUID? I just gotta make a report. It's not that you're gonna get. I don't know what's gonna happen from here. I just need to make a report. I just need your name." And he's like, "No, I'm not giving you shit. Like I told you, I'm gonna give him I gave him everything, but I'm not giving you nothing." And I'm like, "Really?" Like he's acting like all Mr. Tough Guy in front of them now, and in front of the police because he has defense, right? So I'm like, "All right, so I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna need like, I need your name or something." He's like, "No, I'm not giving you my name or nothing, right?" And I'm like, "Dude, I can look you up in the system. Like, why are you giving me such a hard time? Like, please just let me get your RUID." And he's like, "Listen, all of them, like, I'll give them the police or the EMS all the information they need. I'm not giving you shit." And I'm like, "Why are you being like this? Like, let me just get your RUID. I just need to make a report. What goes from there is not my business. It's just I gotta make a report. Like, you went against policy." And he's like, "Bro, what is a policy? I can't throw up. I can't throw up. What if I'm sick? I can't throw up." I'm like, "Dude, it's not that you're sick, dude. You're passed out. You're drunk. You're obviously drunk. Your pants are on backwards." This fool's sweatpants were literally flipped the other way. His back pocket was in front, and I'm like, "Bro, you literally have your pants backwards." And I kept on repeating it to him, right? I'm like, "Bro, you have your pants backwards. Like, how are you gonna tell me you're not drunk and you have your pants?" And he's in his sweater. He has a black sweater, so like spit stains all over. It's nasty, bro. Nasty. So so I'm like, "Listen, let me just get your RUID. Like, I don't know why you're being so complicated." And he's like, "Listen, from the beginning I started talking to you, you started being a dick. He started stuttering. You're being a dickhead." He called me a dickhead. And I'm like, no way this kid just called me a dickhead. And I don't know where he gets that feeling that he can talk to me like that, but the police were right there. I'm not gonna do nothing. Like, and I'm working, so I was like, and I'm like, I told him, I'm like, "Listen, look how you're talking to me. Look how you're acting, and I'm being a dickhead. Really, bro? Can I just get your RUID, right?" And then the grass guy, right? He's like, "I'm so sorry for that." Like, and I'm like, I'm telling him like, I don't care. I don't care what this kid has to say to me. Like, honestly. And Grasstap's like, "Listen, like, hold up, give me one sec." Grasstap goes to police. The police already has his name. I'm gonna get his name already. Like, I know his name, right? And then he, he goes to the police, starts talking to police for something, right? I don't know what it was, but then he like walks past me, saying, "Good night, guys." Like mad, like demoralizing. Like, "Good night, guys." Like I won, you know. I'm like, bet. I'm like, bet. Dude, I write out this incident report, bro. I write every single dialogue, every curse word he said, every single thing he said to me. And I just, in all honesty, I couldn't believe that some kid, had the audacity to talk to like the RA, the one that's reporting you. And I gave him a number of times to like just give me his RUID, like his ID, right? And he did not take it. So I don't know what's gonna go on from here, but yeah, that was just a crazy experience that I had because I don't know where I'm from. I was always taught to like if someone's superior than you, you just talk to them with respect because they can do whatever they want and you can't do shit. But him, I guess he never got no type of ass whooping in his life or nothing, man. Because, dude, he was talking to me like if I was his friend, man. And I just couldn't believe it. Hey, but he had some balls on him. But I just couldn't believe that moment. And then I stood up till like 4 a.m. writing this incident report. And I made sure I put every little single detail. But I think I just came to the realization that some people really just don't have like home training or type of manners that I do or what I'm like used to, you know? Like when I go home, I wouldn't even dare to talk to my mom, like, call her a dickhead. No. Like I know my mom can't like beat me up or anything, but I just know like not to do that. Like it'll feel wrong if I do that. But him, he had no problem calling me a dick. But he said that shit in front of the police officers. He didn't say that when it was just us two. Just saying. But yeah. Well, that was today's story time. I think I'll call this story time. Uh, Dealing with a disrespectful resident. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening to my story, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.